Good morning. I'm going to stay stationary here for a little bit, for a few minutes at least, because something special has happened here in Magdala again. I don't know if you'll guess what it is. Can you hear anything special? Because it's marshy, we can't get too close enough. We can hopefully see from here. Look what we have down here. Our Egyptian geese have done it again, a new family. I think there are 4. It's not so easy to see with all the murkiness of this swampy area right now. But maybe when we get them in front of the sunlight, but they're too far in. If they were a little further out, it would be more helpful. But there you have at least 3 little ones, 4 little ones. Yeah, they're for sure 4. Can you see them? Let me see if I can zoom in a little more for you. There we go. Maybe with this water now, with the reflection. Aha, there we got them. The parents and the 4 little ones. It's amazing the tenderness of life. Could there be 5? They're for sure 4. And now the reeds that are starting this side of them are blocking our view. But maybe they'll move a little more this morning. We still have this easterly weather coming here. Normally the weather's coming from the west, but probably because of high pressure zones, we're getting that hot air and dusty air from the desert. And here's somebody coming in the water at the right moment. And a little canoe, I think. All that goes on a little shoreline like this. We think this is all very peaceful, but actually there's a lot of competition in there. A lot of law of the jungle. All the little dominions and domains and competition for life. Each struggling to make a living. What's your favorite line today in the readings? I don't know if you have checked them out. You always have that link, and the link from yesterday is useful because you can just click on the arrow and you land on today's link. There's an arrow up at the very top. Do you have a favorite line from the readings today? Or something that surprised you? I think this is even interesting for agnostic and atheist and people who know a bit about other religions, to see the God concept that's in the readings today, and also the human concept, the human being. These geese aren't collaborating to come out into the light. And we like to be like gods. That was the big first challenge for the human being to deal with. They want to be like gods. That comes up again in the Tower of Babel, not only in the Garden of Eden. Seeing God as competitor to us, is what God gets, we're deprived of. It's really small thinking. So you didn't tell me your favorite line yet. I don't think. Did somebody write it here? Shalom Doran. Hello everybody. I'm looking if you wrote down anything. What's the biggest line there? Well, I think today it's in the gospel. And it's the image of eternal life, that God is bringing in all those who reach salvation and sitting them down at table and putting on an apron and serving them. Like, doesn't that blow your mind about God? Trying to get those little goslings, if they would only move over to the sunlight. But as the sun goes up, we'll get more light on them wherever they are. And another big macro concept of humanity is the way Paul articulates the role of Adam and Jesus. And a few other figures came to mind, that Adam is at the head of the human race, the beginning, like the source of the Jordan River comes up there from Mount Hermon, impossible to see today. But then there's Noah, after the flood and the disaster of humanity fallen apart and broken, completely disregarding their own dignity. And then we have another big start with Abraham. And some generations later, oh, there was a fish jumping. Did you see the fish jumping? If you just mark the minute that's at right now, I don't have a timer on the video, but there was a fish just north of the stream of light on the lake there, the reflection, about a third of before the darker area. I love to see the fish jumping. I always thought it was for me that they were jumping, but then somebody said they were just jumping for a fly. So then we had Abraham starting, and then the big disaster a few generations later, and then we have Moses. And that's a whole new start into liberty. It's amazing how the human being sinks and needs to be brought back again and again and again. I'm looking for my reading here. There are obviously so many more dimensions in the readings. And the psalm is a key for that as well. Here I am, Lord, I come to do your will. Still can't see those goslings very clearly. But the fact then that God becomes a servant to do our bidding in the heavenly banquet, it's amazing, isn't it? There's somebody here might have something to share as well. Maybe you know her already.
Hello. Well, I was just thinking as you were talking about our God who sits at the table and puts on his apron and serves, in contrast to the concept of God that the Romans and Greeks had, or the Aztecs, or any other civilization back in the day. And they would offer tremendous sacrifices, kill their children, do whatever to try and appease the gods in their tremendous anger. Whereas God has been revealing that God's heart is full of tenderness, and this is something new. So the psalm, I think, has a beautiful response to this goodness of God, where it says, your law is written within my heart. What a contrast to trying to appease an angry God, to say, your law is written inside my heart, where I love, where I feel good, where I am happiest. That's where your law is, and it's my delight. And you gave me ears to obey your will. And how different is then our approach to life as we know the Lord is there knocking in our conscience, and we have the opportunity to respond to the goodness of God, who has set the law for our good and because of love. So I hope today we can hear the knocking and we can open rapidly, open immediately that door.
Thank you, Celine. Somebody was asking how to spell Celine the other day, but I think there was a reply and that it was spelled correctly. And the good reply was C-E-L-I-N-E, Celine. Let's leave it like that for today, people. Wishing you many blessings. Keep praying here for the Middle East. Prayer is very powerful. Moves mountains. Sometimes we don't see that because we just have our whim. And we'd like it to be answered immediately for us. But there are a lot of mountains to move in our time, a lot of hearts to soften. God bless you. See you later, alligators.
Have a wonderful day.